Hey guys, it's Nicholas here from upgradeToLife.com and welcome to this new quote of the week video. And without any delay, let's just jump right in. This is a really powerful quote. I want to explain it step by step. So here is the quote. Now, Neville said this: I suggest that we should imagine ourselves as already that which we want to be, living in a mental atmosphere of greatness, rather than using physical means and arguments to bring about the desired change. Everything we do, this is a key point, unaccompanied by a change of consciousness, is but futile readjustment of surfaces. However we toil or struggle, we can receive no more than our assumption affirm. To protest against anything which happens to us is to protest against the law of our being and our rulership over our own destiny. The circumstances of my life are too closely related to my conception of myself not to have been formed by my own spirit from some dimensionally larger storehouse of my being. I will explain this in a second. If there is pain to me in these happenings, I should look within myself for the cause, for I am moved here and there and made to live in the world in harmony with my concept of myself, right? Maybe it seems a little bit hard to understand at first, so maybe it seems a little bit confusing, this whole entire quote, but let's go through it step by step as usual, right? Now, Neville starts off and he says, I suggest that we should imagine ourselves as already that which we want to be, right? Basic, simple, right? He does not say that first you have to meditate for 10 years, first you have to achieve this, first, you have to affirm 24/7. No, cut all of that, right? We simply want to go straight to the end, straight into occupying who we want to be and having what we want to have, right? And we do this via the means of imagination. Again, remember, imagination is, or what we coined imagination simply is taking our focus away on what is currently manifested in front of us, right? And placing it on something that is currently unseen. That is like the unseen reality that is currently not manifested. It's not tangible, but it still exists because we can imagine it. And the best way to bring something about is if we imagine that we already are that, because this will make it natural. This will identify ourselves with this state, and then our world can reflect back this new state that we made alive within us. And this is what Neville over and over said: imagine the end, go to the end, right? Imagine ourselves as already that which we want to be. Living internally, right, living in this mental atmosphere, Neville basically means that you live in this assumption, in this inner knowing, in this inner atmosphere of greatness, of accomplishment, of the wish fulfilled, of having achieved it, of already being it, right? So that this inner movement basically has taken place. Now you're not living from lack, now you live from abundance. Now you're not living from poverty, now you're living from wealth. Now you're not coming from loneliness, now you live from being happily partnered. Right now you are living from, I am in this happy relationship, right? The mental atmosphere of having it, of it is done, because you imagined it, you made it natural, right? And here is the key point, right? You do this inner shift, right? He suggests us that we do the inner shift first, rather than using physical means and arguments, or rather than using physical effort, rather than suffer externally, rather than focusing solely on the actions and being like, okay, what can I do to get these results? And then thinking with our rational mind, which is very limited and only can up with solution A, B, and C, but it can't jump already instantly to the end because it doesn't make any sense for the mind. And then we try to, then we come up with this limited way, this chronological way. But via our imagination, via our conscious use of our awareness, we can instantly go to the end, right? We can instantly occupy and identify with the end already. So don't try to force something externally. Don't try to work against your internal state. This will be an endless battle and you cannot win it, right? If your internal state is here, but you want to be here, and you try everything externally to go over here, you will always come back to your inner state, right? Watch the free masterclass, first thing in the video description, where I describe this in way more detail, right? But you can't outperform your inner state. You can't outperform your concept of self, your inner identity, right? If I'm an inner identity of someone that makes X amount of money per month, and I want to make more, I can try the new ideas. I can apply for all of the jobs. I can do all of that. But if I still don't see myself as financially stable, if I still don't see myself as having the desired amount of money per month, just now for the money example, I will always come back to my standard, like a thermostat, right? Like an automatic thermostat. It will always come back to where the room temperature is set to be at, right? No matter if you open a window, if you do this, if you do that. But if you first have to change that inner thermostat. You first have to change like your inner standards, your inner identity. And then you stop working externally, because the good thing is that once you change within, your actions will automatically change. The ideas, the impulses you get, the manifestations you get, all of that changes now because you entered a new room. You entered a new state of consciousness. You shifted your self-concept, which then the mirror will confirm to you, will show back to you. Okay, very important. So again, we imagine the end, we go to the end rather than using physical means, arguments, trying to battle with someone, trying to force something to bring about the desired change. Very crucial point. And I do have a video because I know that many people still have this, acting as if kind of mentality, which Neville was not supporting, right? This is not acting as if. This is being it. Being instead of doing, right? Because you can't try to become something. You can only be something, and then you will get this back from the mirror of life. So I do have a video called Don't Act As If. I will link this above right now. I think this will give you some more clarity on this whole topic, right? And then Neville he is saying the key point of this quote. Everything we do in life, unaccompanied by a change of consciousness. So everything you do, if you don't shift your state first, if you don't shift internally first, is but futile readjustment of surfaces, right? So you can be in a state of lack and then try new business ideas, try new jobs, try to get the money here, try to get the money there, try to do this business because you heard it, try to do what this successful person claims got them the success, try to chase the people, try to text the person the right thing, whatever you do. If the state isn't changed first, you won't see results. It is as simple as that. But if your state changes, basically to confirm the wish fulfilled, so that you internally live in this atmosphere of already having it, already being it, then the manifestations can show up as a result from that internal change, right? And so he says it's literally useless. It's stupid. It's not leading to anything if whatever you do in life, you haven't shifted your state first, right? So however we toil or struggle, we can receive no more than our assumption affirm, right? You can't receive $10,000 a month if you live in this inner atmosphere of I make $2,000 a month, for example, right? If you want to be happily partnered in the desired relationship that you want to be in with the person that you want to be with, manifest just the type of relationship that you desire, right? If you don't live in this inner atmosphere of having that, where this is natural to you, where you know it is done, then you can try everything. You can try the techniques, you can do this and that, but you simply will come back to I don't have it. It's not here yet, which the mirror will then confirm. Whereas if you go to the end, right? Make this natural, basically persuade yourself internally that it is done, that you do have it, that it is natural for you, where the faith will grow, where this is super certain to you and you're convinced that it is done, then this inner conviction, this inner knowingness is reflected back as the manifestation, right? So yeah, that's basically already the core of this quote. And then the second part is basically to protest against anything which happens to us is to protest against the law of our own being, right? And the rulership of our own destiny. This is this key point, that you have this rulership over your destiny. It is not set in stone. It's not linear, right? It's not that this is my life. That's only happening for people that live on autopilot, right? That live unconsciously. Once you awaken, once you wake up, once you see that your life is moldable, that you can affect it, right? That you can change it by changing you. Yesterday I was so smart, I wanted to change the world. Today I'm so wise, I changed myself. Something along those lines is a really powerful quote from Rumi. And then you will understand why this makes sense. And if you protest that, right? If you say, why am I not making money here? Why am I not getting my results? Why isn't this relationship like I want it to be? Why am I not healthy yet? Why is my lifestyle so boring? Why don't I have like-minded people around me and good friends? Or whatever you desire. Why am I not living this great lifestyle that, this favorite person that I follow on Instagram lives? If you really also want to desire a new upgraded version of your lifestyle, then if you protest against that and you blame others and you blame just anything, that's stupid, right? Never blame someone, never blame yourself, never condemn yourself. Realize that you yourself, by placing your awareness on something else, by placing your awareness on what you want to make alive in your life and identifying with that desired state, you can bring it about. So you have this rulership over your destiny, right? And then Neville basically is saying I don't want to go into too much detail on this part, but the circumstances of my life are too closely related to my conception of myself, right? Which just comes back to, it's about that inner state. It's about that concept of self, right? As soon as you enter a new state, it's literally like you enter a new room in a house that is coming with new experiences, right? If I'm in the room of illness, I cannot at the same time experience the contents of the room of health, of the health state, right? But as soon as I go into the health state, I automatically let go of the ill state, and I automatically make alive the experiences that come with the health state, for example, right? So I shifted that, and now my life shows me new experiences because I'm in that state, right? And that is for all life areas the case. So look within for the cause, right? And don't even blame yourself if you've fallen in an undesirable state, if your life currently is not exactly the way as you want it to be. That is fine. That's okay, right? We all strive for a better life. We all have desires. We all have goals, things that we want, things that we don't want. That's totally fine. And don't blame yourself. But first of all, acknowledge that it's good, right? When you notice that point where, wait a second, now I have enough. Now I want to make a change. And then notice that, okay, in order for me to make a change, I obviously can't entertain the state that I'm in right now any longer, because that will give me more of what I have. I have to place my attention on what I do want, which is bringing me back to the first line, right? Imagine yourself to already be what you want to be, to already have what you want to have, okay? Yeah, right? I moved here and there and made to live in the world in harmony with my concept of myself. I think that perfectly sums it up, right? You're automatically moved. You will automatically have ideas, beliefs, actions that you take, results that you get that are in harmony with your concept of yourself. So if you want to have a new life, if you want to have new manifestations, if you want to have your desired circumstances, that first of all have to be natural within you. You first of all have to, believe that you have received and you shall. No, how is that quote going? Sorry, I forgot it right now. But I'm sure you know the quote that I'm talking about, right? Believe you have received and you will. That is this famous quote. So you first of all have to have it within, and then your life, the mirror, can give it to you. Okay, so that was a really powerful quote reminding you that you possess the power, that you can leave any state behind by making the new state alive. If you want to know more about that, check out the 2 links as always in the video description. My free masterclass where I explain all of that step by step, what is essential, where do people go sideways, and if you want to apply these principles correctly, go from theory into application, right? Go from learning into living these principles, where I keep you accountable during this journey so that this becomes more natural, more easy, more fun, and a lifestyle, and not a concept you think about, but something you do every day. And if you know how to already internally experience new desires as fulfilled so that they can manifest easily, then just apply for a free 45-minute consultation call with me. Again, that's the second link in the description. And then we can just see if we are a good fit to potentially work together, if we resonate. And that's it for this week's quote. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.